Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, and this is the most recent Sunday morning. It is today. And I want to spend a little time telling you about God. First of all, I want you to know that there are a lot of people who do not believe in God. They call them atheists. They do not believe in God. That's okay. They have no reason to believe in God. They haven't been taught any basic principles that were proven to be accurate. The fact that the earth exists, all of the things that we can see, touch, and feel that we know we had nothing to do with may exist, but that doesn't mean that they have to accept that it's a God. It happened by some means that they don't understand, and that's fine. They'd rather stick to things that they understand when it starts talking about power. And that they understand that the power is with them, with their philosophy, ideology, and their guns. That is the God that they understand. Now, I'm not trying to condemn them for that reason. Had I not had an experience with God, I'm sure I would not be an atheist, but I definitely wouldn't be walking around saying the kinds of things that I say to you. No, I wouldn't say it because I wouldn't know what I'm talking about. And that's why you don't hear it from the preachers today. You don't hear that from them because they don't know anything about that. They do know something about planting seeds, getting your money out of your pocketbook, and planting a seed over there so they can ride around in jets and make you think that God blessed them. And the truth of the matter is, their God did bless them to get money out of your pocket, to put in their pocket so they can fly around in jets and deceive people. It wasn't the God of love. It was the God of deception and lies and bigotry and hatred and racism. That's the kind of God that was. Why I say that? Because that's the result of that type of activity. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to put those down who do not believe in God. But there are people who not only believe in God, but know God. You see, there's a story in the book. I don't really know whether it's true or not, but it's in the book, it's in the story. It says that there was a man by the name of Jesus Christ who, under a given situation, a blind man, had some mud put on his eyes by this man called Jesus Christ, a blind man who had never seen. And when he wiped that mud off of his eyes, he was able to do what he had never done before, and that's see. Now, that man can go all across the land, all across wherever he came from, all the people that know or not, and see everything and tell people about God. That doesn't make people believe in God. They might rather believe that he could see all the time, pretending that he couldn't. But that doesn't change his reality. He knows that there's a God. Now, what is it that makes this one who has received the true knowledge of God different from those that haven't? What has happened, ladies and gentlemen, is that one who has a true knowledge of God has a purpose in life that others did not have or don't have. And you've heard the expression, to whom much is given, much is required. The atheist hadn't seen the work of God in a way that he could understand it. The people who believe in God haven't seen the work of God in such a way that they can accept it as being truth and real. But you have, you who have been given that special blessing. Now, something is required of you. And what is that is required of you? To carry forward something that others cannot see with their eyes, their mind. They can't even understand it. But you can. Because you have been given a blessing. And that blessing is to be used through you, so that others who do not understand the God that they cannot see now recognize there must be one by what is coming and being made available to them through you. And you, my friend, are giving the credit to God. You're not giving the credit to you. You're not giving the credit to your system. You're not giving the credit to how much money you can get out of it. You're giving the credit to God. And how do you give the credit to God? By if what is being made available is good for the people, or whatever amount of people that it is good for, it is made available to them as easy as it was made to you. Free. Free. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, I'm hearing on ABC, I think it was Fox, not Fox, I'm sorry, Good Morning America, George Stephanopoulos interviewing some person, well, a group of people. And I'm listening to Donna, this woman with this beautiful gray hair, Donna Brazile. And she was talking about how there's nothing to suggest that we as a nation of people are moving any closer to the freedom and the joy that we have been speaking about ever since our existence. That if the video had not been made available on George Floyd, if it had been not made available in Marbury case, there would have been nothing. I mean, plain old D nothing. No one would have accepted the fact that there was another alternative. Nah, they would have just gone, these people are black, these are niggas, we have no respect for them, and whatever you say, that's okay, it's just another people out of the way. That's what exactly would have happened. And it's true. Then other folks try to say, well, it was a just trial, the jury did this and the jury did that, it was fair. Well, if the jury did such and such and such, and then a bad outcome comes up, then it doesn't have anything to do with fair. It's wrong. If an attorney is supposed to defend an individual, and in the process find out that individual is guilty, that attorney is supposed to give that case up. No, he's entitled. No, he's not. If you're guilty, you're guilty. Now, you might go and make a plea, but trying to find you innocent? No, my friend, that ain't happening. So what am I saying to you? I'm saying to you that in that interview this morning, I heard in this program someone say how much it would cost if you get the Build Back Better a chance. Or they mention all kinds of things. And I heard someone say, well, we just got through fighting 20 years of war. 20 years of war. And in fighting 20 years of war, it is as pouring water down a fountain, out of a fountain, water running out of a fountain, water running over a waterfall. Or if the wind, like the wind is breathing, the wind is blowing. No money is a problem. Fighting wars, killing people, building machines to kill people, to terrorize people. Why? Why isn't that a problem? It is not a problem for the same reason that all the other stuff exists in America. That is a problem that they keep denying as being a problem. You see, this armament, these wars that are being fought, are not being fought for the benefit of America. It is being fought for the benefit of those that this nation has been benefiting all the time. The 1%ers, the privileged ones, whomever they might be. They're protecting this territory that they say they own. And they want to keep on owning it. They don't want to bend and bow to another governmental system. They want their own. And so since money is nothing, remember this, ladies and gentlemen, money is nothing. It's all a psych job. A psych job. Money is nothing. Let me hold up. I want to get these leaves off this tree. You see this? Money is just like this. Nothing. You can use it for whatever you want. You can burn it or you can tie it into something else. But it's nothing. You don't need it. You see, what is being said is that these people who have come up with this system have always been implementing this stuff from the beginning, even till today. Now, my message to you, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Every American, every person that lives within the borders of the United States of America, their basic divine human rights are these: to live in peace, you know what that means; to be prosperous, you know what that means; to be free, you know what that means; to have joy in your life, you know what that means; to have your dreams come true. Every American. Now, that means you. I did not leave a single one of you out. Every last one of you, according to God's purpose. I'm telling you that because I know God. I'm not talking about what I read. I'm not talking about what I heard somebody say. I'm telling you what's in me. that was designed that you could experience this. You know what? That is not the end of it. To be included is that you would never have to suffer from a lack of food, clothing, shelter. Never have to suffer from a lack of education, unlimited and unrestricted. Never have to suffer for a lack of health care from the womb to the tomb. And every last one of the things that I've just mentioned to you are guaranteed by the process which engages you. The gifts that you have help to create a cause or manifestation of all the things that I've just mentioned. And what does that do to you? It makes you part owner of all that exists. And what you're owner of, you don't need to buy. It's there for you to access as you need, as you want, or as you desire. Now, ladies and gentlemen, every last one of you just heard me say that. That's a message from God that's living in me. I don't care if you believe in God or not. You don't have to believe in God. That message is true. You can have exactly what I said, but you got to stop believing in people like Donald Trump. You got to stop believing in people like even Joe Biden. You got to stop believing in people like Barack Obama. You got to stop believing in people like the ones sitting up in that pulpit or Pope. You got to stop believing in kings and queens. You got to stop believing in what you can't see and allow that which you can't see to live into you and in you and prove that it is the best that can come forward from you. And it ties in with everything else. Does not bring any pain or suffering to anyone. Does not require lying and cheating and stealing and hatred and racism and bigotry. And I guarantee you that's God. Until you can do that, ladies and gentlemen, you're falling behind. You should listen to someone who's saying that it can be done and should be done. This is the way to life. This is the message that I'm giving you on this day. Heard somebody talking about how much it costs when they've spent billions and perhaps trillions on the war machines, building all kinds of planes that go up all anywhere, building ships to do anything. No money is a problem, but feeding Americans, especially if they got a shade of color on them, they are a burden. No, keep them poor so you can use them. The same way you use Mexicans when you got to work that you can't find anybody else to do. You'll get the Mexicans to come over and do it for cheap labor. Or anybody that you can get to do it for cheap labor. Because that's what America is about. But that's not just America. That's the way the whole world is about. But the message that I'm telling you today here in America is a message that the whole world needs to hear and apply. And that is the day that Satan dies. That is the day that evil ends its rule. And it's not by men who have gotten on the throne claiming to have the best plan. No, it's about the Spirit of God living in you and you proving it. Now, I say I have had a relationship with God. You see what the things I talk about. Now, it must be followed with the things that I stand up for. Because what I do like that is an indication to you of what God has represented. The outcome, if I am beat down, if I am killed, that exposes evil. Now, that usually is enough to frighten people or not to try that same path. People don't fall. They'll die for looking at another man's woman or looking at another man's man or looking at a woman's woman. Whatever, they'll kill you for anything but standing up for what's truth and beauty. Nah, nobody got time for that. And this is, my friend, the stuff that will free you. So, having said that, my hope is that we can stop hearing people talking about Donald Trump coming back in 24. That we can stop hearing people talking about Joe Manchin holding up this and Miss Cinnamon holding up that. No, we can stop talking about that. Let us change our conversation and start saying that here we can see America now. Even start projecting where we're going to build these homes, where people live, what is going to be required to be able to cause a manifestation to engage everybody who is capable and able to work in the process of working through their careers to cause a manifestation that these things I've just gotten through it mentioning to you will be made real. That's the kind of things we should talk about. Be excited about it. start talking about if money has been the problem, then we will get rid of the idea of money. We're not going to let money keep us treating people like nothing. No, no. If money is in the way, we're going to get rid of money and lift people up. That's what we're going to do. Now, let me hear you go find another preacher's message that's any more beautiful and any more genuine than what I just shared with you. I bet you there are churches filled with thousands today. And those who don't have the thousands there perhaps have the thousands watching them on television and radio, who will be sending up those envelopes with what you call offerings and tithes to further the cause of what's been going on all the time. This message that I've just shared with you, every last one of them, pray that when they die, they can experience that kind of life, but will not lift one finger themselves to cause that life to be experienced or to exist. Well, we understand sometimes it's just that deep. Sometimes we're buried that deep in stupidity. Sometimes we're buried that deep in evil and sin and ugliness. Hey, we just came here and we grasped and brought in all that was here. And it is that which holds us down. And there's not enough love, seemingly, to lift us up out of this grave. But I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this day, as the sun shines in my eyes and I have to close one of them, I feel good because I've given you what I've been given to this point. And I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm sure I'll be back probably before this day is over. But until then, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.